What's up everybody, my name's Prestige, I'm a co-founder of radio station Rip FM. We're here to talk about Rip Your Beats today. 2017, last year we had our first trial of running this, 2016 Rip Your Beats. Shout outs to Peter Pedro for taking that out, and all the opportunities that gave Peter Pedro after he became the champion of our Rip Your Beats. The idea came back from 2011 with when Rip FM and our A-Bro boys got together, and we were trying to make this happen way back then in 2011. They just didn't have the right resources and the right team around us at the time, and as soon as we got to 2016 we found the right resources, the right people that wanted to be a part of it, the good sponsors that jumped on board, and we made last year happen. So this year we're on the 2017 Rip Your Beats, and we're really looking forward to see what New Zealand has to offer out there as well for this type of competition. There's a lot of benefits around this competition, like we say with Peter Pedro taking out last year's one. He recorded with so many different people, made beats for a lot of people, and that was our goal, was to get a good beat maker out there and got them working with our industry, because as our mission of Rip FM, it's the platform of New Zealand music is what we're looking for. So any other little subject that we can do to make this thing work for the bigger picture, they're all little micro businesses towards this. So Rip Your Beats is one of these things that we feel is appropriately needed to be a part of what we're doing here. When we say appropriately, we need good beat makers. We need them to be on another level. We need them to be better than the last year's winner. We need them to be stepping up all the time. And when I say that, it's more because it's just going to benefit our culture, which is hip hop, better, meaning we're going to have better beats, which will pull out better rhymes out of artists, because that's what a beat does. If you don't really realize what an instrumental does to artists, is as soon as they hear that instrumental, there's a melody in there that will take them to a time in their life and help them express that story. And a lot of the people that we do work with have been from that era. So as soon as they hear that beat, you wonder why some artists can write real fast different beats, is because they feel it. They feel the vibe from that beat and what that beat's giving them and what that beat's telling them to say on this instrumental. So when we say that Rip Your Beats and the culture, the competition, it's all about that. It's all about educating ourselves on how we make these beats, when we make these beats for different types of people, and how you create moods for other people, you know what I mean? Because it is all about moods and what moods you feel. I mean, when you hear a clubbing type beat, obviously you're in drinking mode and you want to go clubbing and that, but then when you hear these dark minor sounds coming into a beat, you're obviously gonna attract a lot of the street guys that have come from a dark era, and that melody that's in there, it's a minor sound that they use. That melody that comes out is what pulls that story out of these guys, you know what I mean? Like, so it's good to have some sort of like foundation for us to make instrumentals, because instrumentals is a 50% part of what a song is all about. The other 50% is what the guy that feels that beat to. Sometimes you're lucky that you can have a beat maker that can write at the same time too, so they know exactly where they're heading and they're writing exactly what they want. But the benefits and the goodness about having these sort of beat competitions is we can cater for different people. Not everybody's been in a dark time, so not everyone's going to feel the minor beats. Not everybody goes out clubbing, so not everyone's going to feel the clubbing beats. But then you can have people that have had good lives, happy lives, and they just want to celebrate the good times. So there's that type of beat, which will be in a major key because it's on a happy level. So think of it like that, and all the avenues that we looked at for the Rip Your Beats competition. That's what's built this, you know, having a good team on board and understanding what our instrumentals do for our hip-hop culture in New Zealand. Without these things, it's like you don't have all pieces to your puzzle and you're trying to paint a picture and there's pieces missing. These are like the little pieces that we're talking about, and we're trying to build them. We believe here at Rip FM, as well as with the A-Bro boys, that having these competitions only going to get better beat makers. It's going to build people's confidence in doing these beats, and it will actually educate them on what artists expect. Last year we had people asking about stems and what stems meant, and I'd like to explain that a little bit more about why we asked for them. Number one, it wasn't for us to do what we wanted to do with the beats. It was more focused on we wanted to see if you had made that beat. We've found other options that we can do to find out if you've made that beat now, so we'll probably do that in our when you email and you become part of the potential people that's going to become the finalists in our competition. We'll have an email that's going to get sent out to you explaining everything, rules and everything that's going to happen with it. But the stems was a big thing for myself. I actually brought that to the table and said it would be good to have the stems meaning that we'll have, you know, like DNA to show that person made that beat, you know, no matter where they made it from. It could have been from anything, you know what I mean, but at least they had the audio stems, meaning like a separate kick, a hi-hat, a snare and that, and they could use that. That was for our purpose of it. We have found another purpose that we can, another way that we can do that now with our new technology that's come up now. But at the end of the day, it's education. The stems was more really for, let's say, an overseas artist wanted this beat that you've just made and they needed to mix and master it by tomorrow, and they wanted the stems tonight so that they can get that done in the studio tomorrow. Now that's what I was preparing everyone for. It was more of that buzz, is about being prepared to take on these opportunities, because a few people were worried about the stems. Is it going to be used to do this, or are you guys going to use the beats or anything like that, or why should we do it because it takes long for us to do it out of there? That was none of the reasons. The main reason is, let's say your favorite artist asks you, I really like your beat, could you send me the stems? And if you know any other beat maker that's done tracks with big artists, they already know, the beat maker knows that there's a possibility that song's going to become a part of their album because they're going to send the stems to them. Now if you become lazy and you say, oh, I'll send it to you next week, to American artists or people overseas, they work 24/7. They can't wait till next week to get it. They might have booked the studio for tomorrow and they need those stems, and if you've wasted their time by not sending the stems in, everybody loses out. You lose out on an opportunity, they lose out on a song that they could have done, and at the end of the day you've missed out on everything, you know. So it's good to get that and make it a habit of having stems. I mean, like one day your computer might crash, and if you've stemmed it out and saved it in another folder, you can always bring that beat back up and you can still control it. You can still turn something up or down, attenuate stuff, EQ things, compress things if you need them, because they're all separated files. Once it's bounced to one wave, it's game over. It's pretty much that. You can do the best you can to EQ out what you don't like out of it, but if there's a snare that's way too loud or a kick that's way too loud in the mix, you're never going to get a chance to tune that down or attenuate it or push it back down. Technology's changing, so we are getting better at these sort of things and that, but why not make the job easier for everybody by having everybody prepared and everybody ready with their opportunities and ready to go, you know what I mean? So end of the day, the stems thing is really important for you as a beat maker. So if you want to enter this competition this year and you're a beat maker, think about these things, because who knows, these great artists from overseas could be watching our beat competition and then they say, I like that dude's beat, I want to talk to him about it, and we want to connect it, we want to make that thing happen. And if you're not ready, then it shows that we haven't done our job because you're not prepared for it. We're trying to educate everybody to do these things so that when you do beats, you are ready to take on these big opportunities. But if we can't educate you now and get you to know that these things need to be done, then it makes it harder for the bigger purpose of this. It was with us connecting you as a beat maker with all the artists, be it in New Zealand, Australia, America, wherever it is. You know, there's a certain process that everybody's using that's out there at the moment, and it's a winning formula. So, you know, why not use the winning formula out there now and grow with that formula? If anything, grow with the formula instead of trying to fight the formula. That's probably the best advice that I can give you in the beat competition. So if you're interested in this, it's on the 25th of February at Mangere Art Centre. We're going to be holding an online finals to find out who the finalists are going to be via the abro site, so check out abro.co.nz and they'll have all the details about how you can enter, when you can enter, and where you need to send everything to. Once you send everything to the emails that are provided, we will send you out a package, and the package will have everything that's provided, how the beat's going to get played on the day, what's provided for it, what you need to provide to show you've made your beats, and pretty much all the rules and regulations around it. We've got the same judges on board again this year. We're looking forward to getting more interviews through those guys and that, and let you guys know what they're all about as well. So you'll see them pop up in your news feed sooner there, and what they're looking for, how they're going to approach the beat making competition. And you know, with these guys that have jumped on board, they were the ones that actually helped us structure, being beat makers, structure out how we can actually do this thing. So it'll be the same as last year. You got 1 minute to make a killer beat. 1 minute. There's no structure because we want you to be creative, and these ideas come from our judges themselves. We want you to be creative. You don't have to have an intro, chorus, verse like how a normal song gets written. That's for when you produce and you're making songs for other people. But when you're talking about a beat competition, you've got a minute to make everybody in the crowd feel that beat, whatever that beat is, you know what I mean? So this is your chance to make something happen for 2017, and I wish everybody that's going to join this competition the best of luck out there, because you have some big competition out there. Last year we saw a lot of beat makers come through that just blew us all away, and this year no doubt there's going to be even better, because we've had a whole year to work on everybody else's style, technique and everything like that from here on out. So this year's where it's at, 2017, Rep Your Beats. Shout outs to all our sponsors involved, Colourfit. I want to shout outs to Mangere East, Peter Sykes. We want to shout out to Elite Car Cleaning for helping out with these trophies as well. We want to give a shout out to Creative Communities for making this thing possible, Mangere-Otahuhu Local Board for always supporting Rep FM for what we're venturing into at this moment, and yeah, everybody else that's played a big part, Rendezvous, Rhythm Rendezvous for their sponsorship for the musical equipment. Without all these guys and without everybody playing a part and everything, Rep Your Beats competition wouldn't be possible. Yeah, so looking forward to 2017's Rep Your Beats Mangere Arts Centre. Come down there and check it out, and yeah, bring your A game, because it is what it is. Rep Your Beats 2017. Boom.